everyone she was on the softball team when she'd actually been cut during tryouts. She'd once claimed to be talking to a popular guy who had no idea who she was. There was a whole pattern of her creating this fictional version of herself that was more successful, more popular, more everything. As they were talking, my phone kept buzzing with texts from friends who'd seen Rachel's social media meltdown. Victor was freaking out, wanting to come over with his girlfriend who does kickboxing just in case. He watches too many crime shows, I swear. My group chat was blowing up with confused messages about the dramatic subtweets Rachel was posting. That's when my doorbell rang again. I literally froze, wondering if it was Rachel. Kyle peeked through the blinds and let out a long breath. It was Chloe. Apparently, Rachel had been blowing up her phone all morning too, and Chloe wanted to warn me in person since Rachel had mentioned paying me a visit. So there we all were, me, Rachel's dad, her brother, and her coworker, sitting in my living room on a Sunday morning, trying to figure out what to do about this woman-child throwing a tantrum because she got caught in her lies. If it wasn't so stressful, it would have been hilarious. Like, imagine explaining this situation to someone who wasn't there. Chloe mentioned that their boss had already gotten wind of Rachel's social media tirade. Someone had screenshotted and forwarded it. So Monday at work was going to be interesting. Kyle was worried Rachel might do something stupid if she lost her job on top of everything else. That's when my doorbell rang again. This time, it was the building manager, looking super awkward. Apparently, Rachel had been downstairs making a scene in the lobby, demanding to be led up to my apartment. The manager had refused, bless him, and threatened to call the police, at which point Rachel had stormed off, but not before yelling that I was a lying bastard loud enough for the entire first floor to hear. Tom looked devastated. He kept apologizing and saying he didn't know where they went wrong with her. I felt terrible for him. Imagine realizing your adult daughter is basically a walking red flag. Kyle was more practical, suggesting I document everything just in case Rachel's behavior escalated. We were all sitting there trying to figure out what to do when my phone buzzed with a notification. Rachel had tagged me in an Instagram story. Against my better judgment and everyone in the room telling me not to look, I opened it. It was a photo of me from early in our relationship, sleeping on her couch with my mouth open, captioned, "Mr. Perfect who ruined my birthday isn't so perfect. A guy like you should be grateful anyone took pictures of you at all." Like, that was her big revenge? A slightly unflattering photo from 2 years ago? I actually laughed out loud, which wasn't the reaction Tom was expecting. But honestly, if that was the worst she could do, I was going to be fine. Just as we were discussing next steps, there was a loud pounding on my door. We all jumped. Then we heard Rachel's voice, slurring slightly. "I know you're in there. Open the door." Chloe immediately stood up like she was going to confront Rachel, which was sweet, but unnecessary. I was already calling the building security guard, perks of a slightly more expensive apartment building. Rachel kept pounding and yelling, and I could hear my neighbor's door open as she came out to see what the commotion was about. By the time security arrived, Rachel had moved on to kicking the door. The security guard didn't mess around.